Hi Columbia, I'm David Greisman here with Milton Matthews, the CEO and President of Columbia Association. This week we're talking about the elections, which are coming up soon. Milton, I know the elections are for the village board seats, but also for the CA Board of Directors. How many seats are there available?
Well, this time around, this year, we have 7 board seats that are available. And the election process, is my understanding, they start at different times in the villages, but the new board, the new CA board, will be seated in May.
What does the board do?
Well, primarily the board is the governing body for the Columbia Association, but their big picture, they develop a strategic plan for the organization. They're responsible for approving the biannual budget process, but they get involved in the governance and the policy setting of the board.
And how do you and the board work together?
Officially, I'm one of the board members. I'm the 11th member of the board. I'm a non-voting member of the board. I see myself as working with them jointly. I basically work with them. I consider myself their chief advisor. But when we get to the end of it, is that my job is to get things done. And so whatever the board votes on to get done or requests from the staff is my responsibility to make sure it gets done on behalf of the organization and the community.
In your mind, what makes a good board member?
I think the board that makes a good board member is coming to the board with an understanding of the role of a board member in an organization such as the Columbia Association, have their ideas. Remember, keep in mind that the board is made up of 10 individuals, so it's a deliberative process. And so bring your ideas, do your homework, definitely attend the meetings, but just come with an idea that, yes, you reside in a particular village, but you're representing the entire Columbia community.
Why is it important for Columbia residents to be involved either at the village level or the CA board level or even with the advisory committees?
Well, number one, it goes back to the founding of Columbia. It was founded on the idea of the involvement of the community. That was very important to Mr. Rouse. Even before he finalized his plans or took his plans to the Howard County Commissioners, he did a lot of community outreach. And so that's just a cornerstone of the Columbia community, is citizen or resident involvement.
Okay, and what are some of the priorities for what you will be working on over the next year then working with the board on?
Well, number one will be is that we, as I said, we have a biannual budget process, so we will be spending a lot of time later in this calendar year working on the budget for 17 and 18. So that will be a number one thing. Also, we're going to continue our involvement in the redevelopment of the downtown area. We know that there probably by the end of the calendar year, there may be some activity starting in the Crescent. We know that the Howard Hughes corporations have received improvements for the first phases of the improvements at the Meriwether Post Pavilion. So all those are our involvements, and the board is very, very involved with the work at the Ann Arbor Trust, with the Meriwether Park at Symphony Woods that we'll be involved in.
Do I understand correctly that you've offered to meet with candidates for the CA board?
Yes, there's a letter in the packets going out to anyone who's considering running for the CA board, where I'm inviting them to sit down with me and have a conversation. I would do it if they reached out to me, so I decided to be proactive and reach out to them and see if they're willing, if they have any questions and like to sit down with me, even before they decide to be an official candidate.
Mm-hmm. So you'll answer any questions. What are you hoping that they get out of that meeting with you?
Well, number one for me is for them, as I said earlier, for them to fully understand the role of a CA board member. We're a large organization, we do a lot in the community, and what we do is community-wide as opposed to village-specific. And that's the big thing I want them to understand. And what we do also, especially with our partnerships, go beyond the Columbia community.
And so if they're interested in meeting with you, how do they set that up?
I ask any candidate to please reach out to my executive assistant, Ms. Janet Lochran, and she will make arrangements on my calendar, whether it's during a work day or in the evening, and I even make myself available on the weekends.
Well, that's really great. I encourage people to get out and participate, whether they're going to be running for office or just going out and voting for Election Day. Milton, thank you very much. Columbia, thank you very much.